It's Dragon Ball time! Hello and welcome to another figure view. Today we're going to have a look at the SH Figuarts Son Goku Legendary Super Saiyan. Woo! This is the be-all and all Goku, isn't it? This is the one that has been hyped up for a long time and a lot of people have a lot of good things to say about it. This is Son Goku the first time he turns into a Super Saiyan as he fights Frieza, as his best friend gets blown up and he goes berserk. We've gotten a version like this many years ago and it's still one of my all-time favorites. Now, I want to see if this one improves and can live up to the hype of the previous legendary Super Saiyan Goku. Let's have a look. Size of the Goku, he stands at about 13.5 centimeters to the top of the head sculpt, but if you're going to the top of the hair, that would be 17. For your inches, we are going up to almost 6.9 inches tall. And again, if you're going to the top of the head, or like where the hair is over there, that would be like 5.2. Size comparisons.
Here's Jolter, the SH Figuarts Son Goku, SH Figuarts Krillin, Freezer, Metal, Cooler, and Darkseid.
I wasn't too sure about this guy because honestly he looked kind of bland. He looked like there wasn't any paint on it and there wasn't any shading on it. But now, having him at hand and having actually closer look at the figure, there's all of these things. First and foremost, the paint is so cleanly and nicely done that, again, at first look I was just like, oh, there isn't any. But if you're going in real deep, you can tell there is some light applied to it. And it does look good. I mean, it's nice and vibrant. First and foremost, the head sculpt. He does have a little bit of a chunky chin. I don't really know. Looking back at the manga and specifically, you know, artwork of this guy really changed a lot from version to version. If you're looking really at the old Goku, that goes back to the hair. He didn't have as much detail, as much strains in the hair, in the head sculpt when he first turned Super Saiyan. However, this one is like nice and wide in different angles, and as you can tell, there's some shading there that goes into the brighter styles, and then a lot darker, which is, we have a lot of that in the front of the hair, but unfortunately none of it in the back. Looks a lot more plain on there, but you know, with that you can just tell, like, look at this and then look at that. Yeah, there is a big difference. And speaking of big, holy crap, is he muscular. Like, this is Goku at his beefiest. This is him really when he goes full power against Frieza at the end of the battle. The only problem I have with this entire thing is, why is his neck so freaking short? I mean, if you move the head down, it just immediately bonks into his massive freaking chest. Also, he does have nipples, which, again, that was... They did have nipples. They did have nipples. Back in the early days of Dragon Ball Z, those kind of disappeared. I don't know, I guess Saiyan nipples. Over time, they go away. There's plenty of battle damage all throughout the figure. And I love that. It's how it should be. And it's small, minute details that really makes this impressive. Because we haven't had something like that in a long time. And then we have... the gi is all ripped up. You have like the blue on top. The belt, and mine doesn't really line up with the rest of the crotch piece. I gotta fix this later, probably just heat it up a little bit and try to reconnect these parts. And down to the ripped pants, having a bit more shading in there. This one is a bit more random, like it's very orangey around the crotch area, like he pissed his pants. I don't know. Again, I like how it goes from the darker orange to the brighter one. It's just like, it's so heavy in the crotch area that it looks kind of weird. As we move down to the knees, and like, the mold of the pants, especially in these parts, are beautiful. I love how much it's kind of ripped up and just like going all over the place. Really cool for action poses, really dynamic looking, and just a bunch of fun times. Then down to the boots. Like, the yellow is just a tiny bit more glossy than the rest of it, and that's a nice attention to detail. So it makes it stand out even more from the dark blue, and the same can be said for like the red cord that goes around. And he also is a little bit, tiny bit glossy, not too much, and then down to the sole of his boots. I mean, overall, great looking figure, excellent muscle work, and I feel really captures the style of the anime or the manga. But before we move on, I really wanted to have a look at these two guys side by side, because I think it's really interesting. This one has been one of my favorite SH Figuarts figures for a long time. But keep in mind, these figures are years apart, so there's definitely something to look at here. I still stand by the original Awakening Goku has the better paint job. I just love all the detail in there, especially the shading. But if we're looking at the face sculpts, this guy has like this weird kind of old vibe where they really hadn't figured out how they want to do their faces, because look at the dark eyebrows. Like, it's not that big of a deal, but I think they actually freaking nail it with the current ones. And then the hair also is a lot thicker on the new one. It's a lot longer. I still don't think like any of the hair sculpts really nails the original, but still I feel like the bigger version it's a little bit better. It's a little bit better. Also a lot more spiky, a lot less rounded. But then again, really looking back at the manga, it was a little bit more rounded. But anyway, the muscle detail obviously is the one thing that stands out, as it is a lot bigger, as he's really huge. As he just was. Once he transformed, he really buffed up, really bulked up quite a bit. And then for the rest of the outfit, yeah, it's obviously a little bit more ripped up. I think like they added even more detail in this one, and it really nails the colors a lot more. Looking at this one, yeah, it's orange, but I like the brighter orange on this, the newer version. So yeah, overall, I never thought I'd see the day, but I like the newer one better. But what about the articulation? Well, it's actually amazing. First and foremost, the hat moves back and forth, quite nice. So we do have the face just popping out because of the connection. It's not really held back by the hair, so it's just a little bit floaty, but I mean, it doesn't break off or anything. It's not too much of a hassle. Still a little bit annoying. And also does tilt side to side, goes all the way around, and we also have a little bit of neck articulation. Not the biggest, but back and forth. Let me take this off, it's just gonna disconnect anyway. So we do have this back and forth and a little bit side to side wiggling, and it can also swivel it almost all the way around. Then we have the big shoulder with this butterfly joint. I don't know why they molded it just a teeny tiny bit further. I'm a little bit annoyed by the gaps, but the motion of it is pretty darn good. Can bring it back and forth, and you can also rotate it, bring it around on the ball joint in there. And then you also have the big hinge in the shoulder, so you can bring that up and down. It can be swiveled, bicep swivel, and a double hinged elbow. Bring that quite nicely up there. And then we have another ball hinge in the fist, which is like standard procedure for all these kind of Japanese figures. Also swivels, by the way, if you didn't know, for the chest area. Can bring this, rock this back and forth, side to side is quite nice. Swiveling, if you give it a good tuck, it goes a lot further than I actually expected it. Breaks up the sculpt though, but you know, that's kind of obvious. Then we have the lower half, the hips, can bring that back and forward for some thrusting. Does tilt side to side and can also be swiveled, or you hold on to this and you swivel it all the way around. Now the leg joint is beautiful. We do have a gap over there, which isn't too bad. I love the fact that this is molded. You have like the molded joint over there. Move it down to the side, it looks good. High kick, beautiful. To the back, fine, is a little bit blocked by the butt. Swiveling the upper part is not the greatest because of how it's molded, but still, I love these 3 layers over here. It makes it look really clean, and I'm a big fan of this. Then we have the double hinged knee. It is a bit gappy, but you know, knees are always like, it's always a bit of an issue. And then for the foot, we also have a little bit of a weird one. There's a peg in the boot, so you can shift that a little bit around, all the way side to side. Also on the foot itself, and then you still have the ball hinge in there, so you can bring that backward. And then you shift it to the back, and you can bring it forward. It's kind of weird, but it makes up for some great feet stability, even though some poses of it kind of look wonky, like if you put it to the side like that. But you can hide it and make some good poses with it. So, I mean, the articulation is phenomenal. This guy also comes with a nice amount of accessories. First and foremost, something that I found to be very interesting. You have a different hairstyle where it powers up, so it doesn't have anything in the front. And then you also can replace the front hair with this one when he goes for like Kamehameha, especially as shown in the artwork. Then we have the faces. We have the yelling face and the smug smile face. And then we also have the angry gritting teeth face. All of these faces can be put on all the different hats with all the different variations of like the front hair and the back hair. There's no limitations to that, in case you're wondering. Then for your hands, also got a lot of posing hands, like martial arts style hands, these kind of semi-grabbing hands, and these like more booby grab hands, and more grabbing. Well, more like for the Kamehameha and stuff. Hadouken, wait, wrong thing. And then finally, we do have the ones where we have the packs to hold on to the Kamehameha. I always praise this so much because these earlier Gokus, way back, when we got a Kamehameha Blast, it was fiddly and it was kind of problematic to keep it in the hand. But now with these hands, we can do it because there's a pack hole for the Kamehameha. And this one's actually also very nice looking. It's see-through, as you can tell. They applied just a, well, not a little bit, but just a spot of white on this side and on this side, and also there's some on the beam parts over here. So I mean, overall a good looking Kamehameha and a nice package overall. Final thoughts! It's just another Goku. I'm only kidding. I wasn't even gonna get this figure because I have the first Awakening Goku, and to me that was always one of the best figures ever. Until this guy came out. I don't know if it's better depending on how you look at it. I still love the shading of the other Awakening Goku, which, yeah, it's a different figure and whatnot, but holy crap is this guy clean looking. The paint is amazing, the mold is super muscular, and really the only part that's kind of I don't like as much is the lack of a neck, but other than that, he looks fantastic with all the small details, also in the ripped up pants and whatnot, the different hairstyles, the different hands, which could have used a chop hand, but then again, I guess we're not doing chop hands anymore. That's like a thing of the past. And then the articulation to round it all off is amazing. So this might be one of the very best figures that we have in the SH Figuarts line. It's an amazing figure, and I think it needs a place in every SH Figuarts collection. That's gonna do it, guys. As usual, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget, if you enjoyed this review, hit it up with a like and subscribe to the channel so you can stay tuned for figure reviews, card game stuff, and whatever Son Goku wants.